How have you learned to sense whether something feels true to you? Because it obviously felt true to someone. How do you decipher between, oh, this feels true, it feels real to me, even if people don't agree with it?
Because it just feels that way.
It's purely just a feeling.
First of all, it like, I'm always trying to get at what's real and not at what's theoretical. I have a real dislike of abstraction for its own sake, right? It feels like it's a way of eluding something. It's an evasion. I want to get at the core and the reality of what I'm trying to write about. And so when I get it, I feel it, and I know that I've done that. And I have the reader in my mind, and I know the reader can connect to it. It's going to have a personal appeal. Whereas I have a tendency to be abstract and professorial and theoretical. I cross all of that out. If you saw my notebooks, 95% of it's crossed out, and I don't let the public ever see that side of me because I don't like it. I want my books to feel like I'm hitting something that's actually truthful and real that people don't like to talk about, kind of thing, you know? So right now I'm writing about what is our self? What is the sense of self that we have in our world? It's a very limited idea of the self. We have a very limited idea of our consciousness. We have a very limited idea of what it means to be a human being in the 21st century. We're actually much more immense and much more interesting than we think we are. We have these possibilities, these connections, because we're a part of something incredibly vast. And to have consciousness is absolutely an astounding thing, right? So I want to sort of expand what you, the reader, thinks of who you are, what your self is. It's much larger than you imagine. But I have to convey that in language that feels right to me, that feels authentic, that feels like everybody in Africa, in China, in India, in Idaho is going to be able to relate to it, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's what I was alluding to with that invisible world point of like how that's what we don't see. Like there's so much to ourselves that we don't see, that we're fully unaware of, that we don't realize we have access to.
Right.
And yeah, finding the right terminology, I find to be there's one word that I love, which is a bit more ethereal, but I guess an astronomer could find some beauty in it. But there's a term in the Vedic literatures called Antarakash, which means inner sky.